JP again, once more here with Danya. We're gonna wrap up with the top half guard, and we're gonna focus on the next videos more on the leg locks that you can take from the top half guard. We saw one on the last class, but now I want to focus more on the control of the legs and the variations that we can have attacking both knee bars, toe holds, heel hooks, and positions like this. Alright, nice to see you everyone. Moving the head sideways. Up and down. Circling the head, everyone. Both sides. On. The other arm. And hips. Big held one. Bridging here, 10 times each side. And hip scaping, 10 times each side. Just repeating this motion that we did a while ago. I'm gonna turn my body to the right, step with the left foot in front of my knee, extend the bottom leg, and bring the hip up, going to the turtle position. Bring my hip back, do the same to the other side, turn to the left, step with the right, extend the bottom leg, elevate my hip. Okay, so to one side, try to move your body as least as possible, the same to the other side, 10 times each side, everyone. We're gonna go to the turtle position and just back step. Pay attention to keep your hip as low as possible. 10 times each side as well, and rolling back and forth with the shoulder, landing on your knees, rolling forward, controlling the hip, watch your head, landing on the hip as well, rolling forward again, 5 times each side, back and forth, and we're gonna start with the partner drills. Attack the legs. So I'm gonna repeat one movement. I don't recall the class that we did, but I'm gonna repeat the position, so no worries. Is basically how my opponent is gonna go for the knee bar. I'm gonna defend, end up on top, and we're just gonna be switching positions like this. I attack the knee bar, my opponent defends, and just so we can get the mobility both for the attack and also for the defense, and we can switch positions with each other. So situation that I have here, we both, I am on the bottom, Dan is on top. I have here the half guard. Neither of us has control. Dan is going to pulse in front of my hip. She's going to back step, and she's going to be in front of my leg. Okay, she wants to attack this leg, so I'm gonna close a triangle, hiding the leg that she wants to attack. Okay, once we get to this position, people, Dan is still here, but I don't want to let her stay here for much longer, otherwise she's gonna figure out some other options. So from here, I'm gonna bring my arm through until I can reach her shoulder. I'm gonna hip scape. From here, I'm gonna push her head down, extend my hip, end up on top, and just for the sake of the exercise, I'm gonna let Danya put her half guard in place, and I'm going to do the same here with her. So we're gonna be here. This works with the other hook as well. Okay, everyone. If we're here, same thing. I'm going to pulse and back step. She's gonna hide the leg that I'm about to attack. She's gonna go for my shoulder, turn the hip, push my head, sprawl, ending on top, and we're back into the half guard, and we're just gonna be switching positions like this. So again, the back steps. I hide my leg from here. Reach for the shoulder, hip scape, push her down, sprawl to end up on top, and we're just gonna be switching positions like this. Again, everyone, we saw these positions a while ago. As soon as we end up with the the sweeps, we were working on the difficulties that we can find when dealing with the half guard. So you guys are going to be able to find the explanation there if you require more details. But I just want you guys to follow the steps. Don't need to be fast. I just want you guys to switch positions to get the mobility from here. Okay? 3 minutes. Just do this. Not 3. Let's do it for 4 minutes. Switching with each other. If you guys start getting faster and more comfortable with the position, you guys can speed up and work a little bit more with this. Okay? Let's see today's position, people. Okay, everyone, so we're gonna work today with a knee bar. It's actually a very classic knee bar from the half guard. And the idea from here, everyone, is that every time that my opponent has the half guard in place, I am kind of, how can I say, I have a good access to my opponent's legs because she is controlling my leg with her legs, and my hip is still free, so I can move around, and that's why this is a good situation for us to enter with some leg locks. And just so I can inform you guys, especially people who are interested in tournaments, this is not going to be allowed for most of you in IBJJF tournaments or actually any other tournaments with IBJJF rules. This is only allowed for brown belts and up, but again, we're not here learning IBJJF tournaments, we're learning Jiu-Jitsu, so I think it's important for us to cover this part of Jiu-Jitsu as well. So we're gonna attack the legs. Let's imagine that we're both fighting for control. I'm scared to engage my opponent here because if I get too close to her, maybe I'm gonna give her too much options here to attack. So what I'm going to do is backstep. So I'm gonna start pulsing my hand here in front of the hip. I'm gonna backstep and I'm gonna sit on her hip, okay? And here I'm already facing the leg that I have. We're gonna work with some options if my opponent crosses, but that is for the next class. As I'm here, since I already have the access to the leg, I'm already going for her heel, okay? I wanna have the control here. As soon as I get this control, I'm gonna pinch my knees together, fall to the side, already ending in this position. What is important for me to get a knee bar here? First of all, I need to have her leg trapped, okay, with her knee in front of my hip. If her knee is on the outside like this, I lost a knee bar, okay? And very important that I'm putting pressure here with my thighs so Dania is not able to turn her foot. Because if she turns her knee to the outside, I don't have any pressure anymore and I'm gonna lose the submission. So very important, when I get to this point, I wanna have my knees pinched together, the control on her heel. I'm gonna pull her heel towards my chest, my hip forward slowly until she taps and I get the submission. Of course, everyone, that we were seeing this step by step in a more realistic scenario. As I backstep, I'm already controlling the heel and going straight for the knee bar, okay? So, in a faster pace, we would be here. As I backstep, I control the heel, already dropping and going for the submission, okay? And when we are doing this in training or in a tournament, it is important that we are doing everything fast, connecting the steps fast, because I don't want to give my opponent the chance of crossing the legs in another direction, because if I backstep and she hides the leg, the knee bar from here, let's turn. The knee bar from here is gone. We're gonna work with some other options, but I want to prevent that from happening. The other detail that I want to talk to you guys is because I see this happening a lot, is people go for the knee bar, so they do everything correct, they have the leg, and instead of falling to the side, they fall back. But the problem is, if I fall on my back, then it's gonna roll over her shoulder, ending up on top, and there's a big chance that I'm gonna lose this position, okay? So, very important, people. I'm starting on this side of the hip, and I'm gonna end on the other side of her hip, Okay, so I back step, I control her heel, and I fall to my side, benching my knees together, pulling her foot towards me, forward with my hip, and I have the submission. So, this is, like I said, this is like a standard knee bar that we get from the top half guard. Pay attention to the details, people. I suggest when you have the knee bar, try to feel the control that you have. Ask your opponent to see if your partner actually can turn the leg to see if you have a good control. If your partner is turning the leg, it is probably because your knees are not so close together. Okay, so pay attention to that so you can adjust in the best way possible. And very important, guys, as I say every time, doing stuff fast doesn't mean cutting the steps, okay? Just putting the steps together in the fast way possible so you guys can do this in like one move. Alright, so let's train a little bit, people. Let's see how it goes now with the leg locks. Okay, people, so we're wrapping up with the half guard positions. We're gonna continue with doing our specific training here. So Danny is on top, I'm on the bottom. We're gonna be working this situation for 3 minutes where my opponent's trying to pass. And now that we're seeing the leg locks, I'm gonna suggest if you're on top to try to pose some threat with the leg locks as well, because it changes the game a little bit. It makes it harder for me to work knowing that my legs are in danger. So the person on top, either trying to pass or to get a submission. If you guys are taking the back like we saw in the previous classes, if you guys on top succeed, back from the beginning, switching sides, we continue. Person on the bottom, watch your legs, okay, people? Don't let your opponent get the control of it. Make sure that once you're here, you have the underhook and you're really close to your opponent's body. If you have a good control of the hip, it makes it harder for them to get the legs. So if you guys on the bottom are able to set your grips in the beginning, you guys are gonna be able to defend your legs, okay? So me on the bottom, I wanna make sure that my opponent cannot pass and that I can be effective either by getting a sweep or taking it back as well. So 3 minutes, one of you on top, the other one on the bottom, then you guys switch, and then you guys can add as many rolls as you want. All right. Hope you guys have a good weekend. We see each other on Monday. Take care, everyone.